I made it clear at the start of the year that we would place integrity and compliance at the forefront of Rugby League, and that we would build a stronger platform for the future. For the first time, a dedicated integrity unit is in place, and we have been able to announce a new General Manager of Integrity and Chief Legal Officer, Nick Weeks. There are many things that we will achieve over the year, and today we make a clear statement that there is no place for drugs in our game. Our players don't want to see it, our fans don't want to see it, and I don't want to see it. We are determined to ensure that an even playing field with fair play for all. Today we are announcing a comprehensive new testing regime to strengthen Rugby League against drugs in our game. We have been working with ASADA to determine the emerging threats and have developed a regime that responds to and minimises these risks for our game. The new testing programme will include an athlete biological passport, better known as ABP, which is an electronic record of a player's biological markers. The ABP tests are different from the standard blood tests as they look at the effects of doping rather than directly detecting the substances or methods used. This means that even if a substance has left the body, the tests will detect if it was there. We will also be increasing testing for human growth hormone, HGH. And for the first time, we will send samples to London to take advantage of the latest testing technology developed for the 2012 Olympics. In addition, we will be increasing testing for peptides, with samples sent to Cologne to take advantage of leading international developments in peptide testing. At the same time, we will also increase the number of regular tests undertaken during competition and in the off-season. This new testing programme is a serious statement about the game we want to see in the years ahead. Every time a 12-year-old goes to a game, I want her to know her heroes are doing the best and they are clean. Every time a 22-year-old goes on debut, I want him to know he is competing against other players doing their best who are 100% clean. Our players support these new testing measures, our clubs support these new testing measures, and ASADA support these new testing measures. The ABP test is in effect as at now. We signed the contract earlier in the week, so the new regime is in place. It has actually happened. What I've just described is the things that we will do for the rest of the year. These are measures that are in place. We've actually done the work in the background. We're ready to go. We've signed the contract. We're lined up with ASADA, and ASADA will do all of the things that they need to do to carry out the testing. Look, I don't want to be specific about the number of tests because at the end of the day it's a deterrent. What I can tell you is it's a very substantial increase. We will increase our testing by around 30%. And what I will also tell you is that where we start is not where we're going to finish. This is the introduction of a programme. We will always be able to shift the programme dependent and contingent on the risks that we perceive. But I think blood passporting is an advanced technique, and it's something that we see growing in our game. Well, look, the regime is part of the broader WADA-ASADA code, so I think the penalties are pretty clear in the WADA-ASADA codes. What we're doing here is strengthening the deterrent, and what we're doing here is making sure that we don't want drugs in our game, as I've just said in the notes I've just read out. So this is about strengthening that deterrent. It's about being able to assess the emerging risks that we've seen, but also making sure that people continue to have confidence in our games. The WADA rules and the ASADA rules, that they remain in place, and the penalties, I think, are quite clear within those rules. We wanted to get this right. I think that's the key thing. We spent a number of hours working with the clubs, working with the RLPA to make sure that we get this right. The clubs are right behind wanting a drug-free sport. The clubs really understand the fact that these are emerging threats, they're emerging risks, and we want to make sure our game is safe and that we have confidence and trust for the fans and members, because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. So we've gone through a process. It's been a very constructive process. all elements have engaged in that process, and I can confidently sit here and tell you that it's something we're doing right now. It's not something we're going to do tomorrow, and that we have brought all of our stakeholder groups along with us. ABP is one of a range of measures, and when you're thinking about anti-doping, what you need to do is configure across chemical testing, you need to configure across blood testing. So there's a range of things, and what we're able to announce today is that we're going to use blood passporting increasingly to improve, to strengthen the range of measures that we've got, as well as some of the chemical tests. We're going to take advantage of new testing technologies that are in place. So the strength of what I'm suggesting is, yes, blood passporting is, I think, an advanced technique, but it's the mix of tests that you do that really create the deterrent, and also it's the ability to shift that mix depending on the emerging risks that the emerging threats that you see. So it's not specifically about ABP. I think ABP is a great advancement for us, and we will increasingly make use of that technology, but also it's quite significant, the other range of measures that I've mentioned.